Greetings, you beautiful people. It's the final countdown. So I do have a special guest with me who just was dying to say hi to you, my daughter.
Hi.
Okay, so in this video, I'm going to go over the assignments that are due this week. I'll talk a little bit about our final exam, our last topic, which is therapy. And I want to remind everybody that you can earn $20 by completing a survey about your experiences with the Achieve platform that we've been using this semester. And I'll finish up with some final thoughts and questions.
Mom, if I do that.
Assignments. So there are two ways to earn points this week. You can earn up to 20 points. And just a friendly reminder, no assignments will be accepted after December 7th. So Monday, December 7th is the last day to turn in anything. Now, I've broken up the assignments into two categories, required and optional. So the required assignments are, there's a final reflection where you'll think about your time for the last 15 weeks in this course, the topics that we explored, the assignments that you completed, and you'll answer some questions. And so you can earn up to 10 points by completing the reflection assignment. This is due on the 6th of December. Now, it does stay open until the 7th, but it's due on the 6th. What this means is if you complete it by the 6th, you can earn the maximum points depending on your responses. But if you turn it in on the 7th, there will be a small late penalty. And then you have the Achieve assignment, Achieve 10. Achieve 10 is also worth 10 points, and you can click on Achieve in Canvas, and you'll notice it's a two-step process, just like all the previous weeks, where you'll go onto the Achieve platform and complete a few assignments that are specified in Canvas. And then the Achieve platform, you complete those assignments, and then you log back into Achieve and you reflect on those assignments. So you tell me, what your scores were, what you liked about the assignments, what you disliked about the assignments, and also what you learned. All right, so those are the two required assignments this week, and that's a way to earn 20 points. The goal is to get both of those assignments done by the 6th of December. Now, those assignments were posted for you as of Sunday evening, so you can get started on them at any time. The other ways to earn points this week is by completing the optional assignments. Now, these optional assignments are optional, so that means they're not mandatory. You can do them if you want to, or you can ignore them. If you missed test 1, I strongly encourage you to take the alternate test 1, also called the makeup test 1. Now, this makeup test 1 is worth the same amount of points as the first test, so 50 points, but you only have 25 questions instead of 50 questions. Makeup test 1 subs in for the missed test 1. So if you have a 0 in the computer right now for test 1, then you need to take this makeup test 1, and you'll the score that you earn on this makeup test 1 will replace the 0 in Canvas. Makeup test 1 is proctored via HonorLock, so make sure you hammer out all of your HonorLock details prior to taking this test, because this is the only other makeup there is. Now, the topics are what is psychology, the science of psychology, human growth and development, learning, and memory. It's the same topics that were on the first test. But this is a good way to boost your score if you missed test 1. Now, if you didn't miss test 1, but you scored pretty low on test 1, you're welcome to take this makeup test 1, and I will average your first and second attempt. So if you maybe scored a D or even an F on test 1 and you take it over, and whatever you score the second time, I'll average those two attempts together, and then hopefully that will boost your score. Now, if you do worse the second time, then I'll just look the other way. Okay, this can only help you, it can't hurt you. All right, the next optional assignment is the cumulative quiz. If you missed one quiz over this semester, we had a total of 4 quizzes. If you missed one quiz, you want to take this cumulative quiz, and whatever score you earn on the cumulative quiz will sub in for that one missed quiz or low quiz score. Now, just so you know, the cumulative quiz is based on an accumulation of information. So any topic that we discussed in this class is fair game for the cumulative quiz. So you might have a question about human growth and development, you might have a question about learning, and you might have a question about psychological disorders. So it's only 10 questions, it's not proctored via Honor and they're only multiple choice, but this is a good way to boost your score if you scored low on any one quiz. All right, so we've gone over the required assignments this week, which was the reflection and the achieve, and then the optional assignment, which was the makeup test 1 and the cumulative quiz. The other 2 optional assignments are dealing with replacing points for class participation and achieve. So if you missed an achieve assignment and you want to make it up, I've included a makeup achieve. Now I did another one prior to Thanksgiving break, and this is another one after Thanksgiving break. So if you have all 10s, then you don't need to even consider this. But if you did miss a second achieve assignment and you want to do this makeup, this is totally optional. It's a 2-step process, just like the other achieve assignment, but this is optional. So if you do it and you don't have any missed achieve assignments, then it's not going to do anything to your score. But if you do have a missed achieved assignment and you complete it, it can boost your score. Now the group project peer review, I'll be posting the group project peers this week, and I'm gonna give you an opportunity to review your fellow class members and group projects, and this will be a way for you to earn points, and I will go through and see if you're missing any class participation points, and I will basically use the group project peer review to substitute if you're missing any class participation points. This also includes if your class participation score was low. So if you maybe scored a 7 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10, then this would boost your score. All right, so those are the assignments this week. If you have questions, remember there's a questions thread. So don't hesitate to post your question on the questions thread. I check the questions thread, usually once a day, and I also respond to emails Monday through Friday at simsa@cf.edu. If you email me on the weekend, don't bother, but Monday through Friday, I'm available to answer your questions. On the next slide, I'll talk a little bit more about the final exam. All right, the final exam. So the final exam is worth 50 points, and you have 50 questions. Okay, it is proctored via Honor, so you want to make sure that you have all your kinks hammered out, ironed out, okay? Make sure you go ahead and take that Honor practice quiz prior to taking the final exam because we don't want any mishaps. There's no makeup final exam, so I'm counting on you to make sure you handle those technical difficulties prior to taking the test because I can't help you if you miss the final. Now, the topics that are on the final exam, it's going to be personality psychology, social psychology, thinking, language, and intelligence, psychological disorders, and therapy. So that's chapters 12, 13, 14, 15, and chapter 9. And you're thinking about the big ideas. So you want to know, the gist of the topic. Remember, there's 50 questions, so that's about 10 questions per chapter. I am available if you have questions about any of the content. I can explain it. I teach a class on social psychology. I'm going to shamelessly plug it right now. Go ahead and sign up for SOP 2001 with me for next semester. We'll have loads of fun. I also have taught a personality psychology class elsewhere besides CF, so I have lots of information on that. And back in the day, I used to be a therapist, so I know a little bit about psychological disorders and therapy. In the modules, there are slideshows, there's videos, and often there's articles. So the information is out there for you. The test should be available as of Thursday, and it will stay available until Monday. And you have an hour, 75 minutes to complete the test. So, that's more than enough time to answer 50 multiple choice questions. I do want to warn you that if you're caught cheating on this test, then you'll automatically receive a 0. So, you're allowed to use one page, two-sided front and back, but that's it. You can't use your textbook. You can't search on the web. It's, it's proctored via Honor, and they will be monitoring you. So that's the final exam. That's the last assignment that you have to do in the class, and it's due on December 7th by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Therapy. So this chapter is broken into 3 sections: Introduction to Therapy and the Psychological Therapies, Evaluating Psychotherapies, and then Biomedical Therapies in Preventing Psychological Disorders. I encourage you to read this chapter all the way through because you'll find some really helpful information. Psychological disorders are very common, and it's very likely that either you or a family member or a friend will experience a psychological disorder at some point in your life. So having knowledge about how to help people is beneficial. Literally could be life-saving. So please do take a look at this chapter, the different sections, to get a good idea of what therapy is really all about. Okay, the Achieve survey. So even if you didn't complete the first survey, you can still complete the second one, and you'll earn $20 for sharing your opinions. You've been completing Achieve assignments all term, and now's a chance to share your thoughts and feelings. Okay, so go ahead and use the link that's available in Canvas to complete the Achieve survey and get your free $20. I'm also going to be looking at this as a way for extra credit. So if you participated in the study initially, then you would have already been on a short list to get 5 points extra credit. And I know it's not reflecting in the computer, but trust me, there's data to show who signed the informed consent, and I'm using that to basically give you credit for participating in the study. And then if you didn't do it the first time, you can do it this time, and that way you can still get the 5 points extra credit. But the $20 is for anyone. So I encourage you to go ahead and get her done. All right, we're at the end. So I'm going to just remind you that the final grades are due, I think, on the 14th of December, and my goal is to have them posted by graduation. So graduation is a week from Friday. So I wouldn't expect to have the grades done prior to that, but I may have some classes completed prior to that. So you want to check Canvas, and that is how you'll know. If you have questions, again, the questions thread is a great place to post your question. And if you need to speak with me personally, you can email me. I appreciate your patience. I'm going to share a couple of pointers about the class because I asked you to complete a reflection. I'm going to share my thoughts also. What I hope that you have taken away from this class is that psychology is a science. In fact, psychology is the scientific study of behavior and mental processes. And yes, there's a difference between actions and thinking. All right. So psychologists use the tools and the methods of science to understand why people do what they do and why people think the way they think. In this class, we talked about a lot of different topics, but I'm hoping that you have latched on to at least one of the topics to gain a deeper appreciation for the psychological sciences. For example, maybe some of you now understand the difference between schizophrenia and dissociative identity disorder. Schizophrenia, there's a split in the mind, and so the person has trouble separating fantasy from reality, whereas DID, a dissociative identity disorder, formerly called multiple personalities, is a split within the person where they have, as a response to a severe trauma, developed these alter egos to protect, who they are. Some of you maybe learned about classical conditioning, and that's the part of the class that you really liked. You liked learning about Pavlov's experiments with the dog or Skinner's experiments with pigeons. But whether it was classical conditioning, operant conditioning, motivation, or memory, I'm hoping that at least one of the topics caught your attention and that you have gained a deeper appreciation for what psychology is and what psychology is not. Now, there are other classes that I teach. So if you are majoring in nursing or early childhood education, I think some other disciplines also, but I teach DEP 2004, Human Growth and Development, so I'd love to see you in that class. I also teach SOP 2001, which is social psychology, so love to see you in that class. Psych 2861 is not going to be offered this upcoming semester, but it's positive psychology, and I do occasionally teach that class as well. So I think that's kind of, you know, my plug for what I teach. I enjoyed reading some of the posts on the discussion boards. I wish we would have had more of an opportunity to interact with each other face to face, but you know, it's an online class. I think that's pretty much all I want to say. I might post one more farewell announcement once the grades are calculated, but à tout à l'heure.